catch me in my feelings. But he don't know that I'm the he trying to stunt and give me drinks. I got the bottles in the section and I practice with the bass.
I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we've got a pair of offenses that understand how to get it done on the ground, as both rank in the top 10 in rush TDs. It's the Bengals going up against the Steelers. So with that, let's get up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight, we reach the unofficial midway point of the season with a good Monday night battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat him.
Here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And now it's 4th down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. First and 10 for Dalton. And he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. And Eifert has it. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Here's Bernard. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd down and 4. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. 2nd down, Dalton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Shift together here from the D-line. Second down, Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Again, here's Bernard. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take out blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
They want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
Vontaze Burfict is a super talent and a fierce competitor. He can do it all at the linebacker position.
Second down now after the incompletion. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. Throwing is Cousins. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. Third down here.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Now Cousins finding time. He's going to float this one deep right side. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Let's go! 3-19!
First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Throwing. And here's another interception. The third of this first quarter. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
So the D-line's going to spread out. It's second down. Dalton looking. And that's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's third down. And in the backfield out of this starting group, you have to look out for Giovanni Bernard.
And you have to make sure you're ready to hit the spin button with this guy. Awfully exciting in the open field.
Dalton here from the gun. Caught Eifert over the middle. A good pickup there, a 22. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Dalton, first and 10. He's got the hook up with Conley. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys of my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit.
Dalton gives to Bernard. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Second down, Dalton, complete to the right side. It's Eifert. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
First and 10 for Dalton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Bernard. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Detroit! Detroit! Set!
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And he's into the clear. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 10, Cousins. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Give him 12 yards on that one and earns him a fresh set of downs.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go. Well, let's see who's faster. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here we go, T. Get off the field. Now let's go.
On second down, Cousins again. Out left side here to Bryant. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on third.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
On third down, Cousins. He completes it to Bryant. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll come out in the pistol. Play fake. Cousins. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that is happening.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. They find some open field here. The 40, the 30, the 20. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Giovanni Bernard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
To throw is Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. 3rd and short yardage. Cousins playing with a catch right side. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
It's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And that's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And it's 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Dalton, 1st and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. He's got the hook up with Conley. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. To the left side here for Eifert. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to... Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Cousins on 1st down. Bryant with a catch right side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down now after the pass completion. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 5 yards to go. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. With it is Jackson, and he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. The Bengals getting set to go. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Malcolm Smith there for the stop. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Dalton throwing on second down. Caught here by Conley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter. Because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
Surveying the field. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Shift together here from the D-line. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. To the left side here for Eifert. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Third down now following the completed pass. Now a carry for Bernard. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And they're not going to get the snap off. This might back him out of field goal range. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Again, it's Bell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell.
Now let's go. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. All right, now look at 56. Check. All right, now look at 56. Look at
First down. Here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Cousins now on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 3rd and long for Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here's Jackson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals take possession. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Javon Hargrave with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
No gain, and it's second down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop it, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL. They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep, ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
Now Cousins, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Second down, Dalton. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, that one fell incomplete after being tipped in the air. But I have to tell you, I had a bad flashback of going to head to the stadium stairs in practice. Because what we were always taught, any ball like that, if it's not spiked towards the ground and you actually tip it up, then that's an error on your part because now you've given hope to the offense, maybe help create a big play for them instead of going up and either intercepting it or knocking it down. I ran many a stadium step for my errors.
Back now in Pittsburgh, it's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the fourth. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Third down now following the run. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Andy Dalton. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Oftentimes, guys who do a really nice job on the wide receiver screen plays are really good punt returners. It's the same skill. Make the first guy miss and then pick up your blocking and get downfield. Nice gain on that play.
Shift together here from the D-line. And they'll run it here. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Bernard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2. Now third down. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He's got time. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
They go back to the air here after the INT. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer. He just dropped the pass. Here's Cousins. Over the middle here to Brown. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And quickly, they get to the line.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Justin Ellis with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
He's going to let this. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And now out come the Steelers. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Here we go. Detroit!
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go. 3-19.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. In tough starting field position here. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Dalton hovering near the goal line. And this will be incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. All right, here's Dalton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On second down, Hill. And they went the wrong way there. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
And they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. Past the 20. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, let's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Dalton now to pass. Going up top. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Chris Conley with time running out, and the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. 10 yards still left on second down. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Cincinnati, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh.